Hello everyone, my name is Roger Wadeen, the director of the Duluth Chamber of Commerce. I'm the moderator here today in the great state of Minnesota, and before we begin, we're going to hold a coin toss to decide who speaks first, and I would like to introduce both of the candidates. The first being the Republican nominee Michael McFadden, and the second being the Democrat, shoot, I'll have to redo that. Hello everyone, my name is Roger Wadeen, the director of the Duluth Chamber of Commerce. I'm the moderator here today in the great state of Minnesota. I would like to begin by introducing both of our candidates, one with Republican nominee Michael McFadden, and the second with Democratic incumbent Senator Al Franken. And we will begin the debate by holding a coin toss to decide who goes first. Senator Franken, which side would you like to be?
I'll take heads.
It's tails, so Mike McFadden gets to begin. Okay, so Michael McFadden, since you've won the coin toss, you get to start with your opening speech, and you may begin. You have roughly 1 minute.
Hello, I am Michael McFadden. I am the Republican candidate for senator of the state of Minnesota. I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, and I am the oldest of 5 kids. I grew up on a farm with my father, and he taught me everything I know from hard work to dedication. I also learned responsibility from growing up and helping raise my younger kids. I am not a politician, I am a family man. I am also a father of 5 kids. I want to go to Washington. I want to get things done. Unlike the politicians there who are just sitting down and that are there to be there. I'll promise I will work hard for you and the people in our nation. And I stand for strong businesses. And I believe I will be very strong. I believe I'll get things done.
Thank you, Mr. McFadden. Senator Al Franken.
Hi, I'm Senator Al Franken, and America's a growing country, but there's a growing skills gap too. So we have to focus on the model of technical colleges to fix that skills gap and fix the problems within America. So I strive to reform education and student loan to ensure that the money that you're spending to help pay for college doesn't just go to the profits of the bank, but it also helps to build build America. And that's why I also enacted the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, and this includes provisions that help the partnerships of manufacturers and the community. So, as you can see, McFadden might be a family man, but I get things done more than he does.
See about that.
Thank you, Senator. All right, so let's begin with the first question, and we're going to begin with energy. So domestically and internationally, energy has been the driving force of economic development. Where do both of you stand on this topic? And we'll begin with Senator Franken.
Well, we need to diversify the energy we use. So that includes fossil fuels, but we're going to have to go more than that, and we're going to have to use renewable energy. And coal in Minnesota is one of our main utilities, but that's not going to help in the future because global warming is a serious issue. So we'll have to, as I said, we'll have to move to renewables. Minnesota is it's positioned to be a global leader, and because of its clean energy production and wind energy production, we should focus on building the wind and energy efficiency programs and focus on programs that take advantage of our resources within the state. So with my energy program, we'll make more efficient jobs and create high-paying jobs that can't be outsourced easily. And we'll also revitalize our manufacturing sector, which includes wind turbines.
Thank you. Mr. McFadden?
We are on the brink of an energy resistance. In this country, if we can allow the businesses to develop resources and sustainable resistance to the low cost that will make American manufacturing competitive on the world market. If we create more energy, this would also, it would produce more jobs for people in Minnesota, because we want as many people as possible to have jobs, and we don't want people to be unemployed. So by also getting people more involved and getting more energy, and Minnesota is a world leader in producing energy, we can find new ways and try to be very productive in this, but at the same time just get new jobs and get people active.
Thank you. We'll move on to the second question. Copper and nickel mining companies, for example PolyMet, have been prevented from starting up for almost 9 years now. It could be a financial benefit, but also an environmental harm. Broadly speaking, in addition to mining, what is your stance on environmental policies when they come in conflict with monetary action? We'll begin with you, Mr. McFadden.
Well, I think, for example, with the PolyMet issue, which has been in hold for 9 years, I feel like that would have been, I greatly support this, because it would have helped us greatly economically, would have got us more jobs, even though it would have hurt us a little bit energy-wise and efficiency-wise. And I think this because we can find other ways to be more efficient in energy, even if we're maybe it's a little backtracking at as long as we are producing more jobs and being more successful economically, we can find ways to be more successful energy-wise and just be more productive. Yes.
Thank you. Senator Franken?
Well, I always vote in what I believe is in the interest of the people of Minnesota. So if environmental policies such as mining, include jobs that Minnesotans want, and even if they have a risk of failing, I still think they'll benefit us to provide them to the people of Minnesota. Because if there is a fair chance that they'll produce good jobs and good paying jobs, and that's what Minnesotans want, then I believe we should go through with it. And environmental policies should strive to better Minnesota, and not only Minnesota, but also the rest of the United States as well. So I think that, in the end, conservation and restoration policies should benefit everyone. And so I support for example, I support the protection and conservation of the oceans in the United States and the coastal and Great Lakes ecosystems. But regarding monetary action, I think even though the funds may be quite large, I think we can make up the funds and fund actions through dedicating a certain percentage of our revenue toward paying for these policies, such as our energy department or our offshore energy department. I'm sure we can use some percentage of the revenue to dedicate it toward restoring the ecosystem.
We'll take a quick break, starting now.
Senator Al Franken from Minnesota, and I believe in closing our skills gap, utilizing all of our resources, and improving the infrastructure of our state.
You must be the guy from SNL.
Yes, I am. I'm Senator Al Franken.
Oh wow, that's awesome. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
Well, I gotta go do all my important work. Vote for Al Franken. I approve this message.
All right, let's go to the fourth question. I believe that a fundamental item on everyone's mind is the economy. What should the Senate be doing to encourage economic development, especially here in Minnesota? We will begin with Mr. McFadden.
I agree with you. The economy is very, very important to our country and all the people in it. And as a middle-class businessman, I believe that all the people working and we're the middle-class businesses are the backbone of our economy. We all work so hard, and I believe everyone at all levels are taxed too much. And if we have tax cuts, not large ones, but smaller tax cuts across the board for everyone, not just the wealthy, but everyone who works hard, and everyone just deserves a break. And this will encourage all the people to start spending because they will have more money in their pockets. So they will be able to go out, spend more things, get the things that they want. This would then benefit the economy because they're putting money in and out. We'd be growing other family businesses by spending money on them, growing larger businesses, and everyone would benefit from this, whether you are in the lower class, middle class, or upper class. So everyone will just benefit, and it will just be positive for everyone. And many politicians look at this as like, try to overthink this, but I look at this as from like a family view, just thinking that family-based, just make the families happier, want to spend more, and not tax and take a lot of money away from all the families.
Thank you. Senator Franken?
Well, I believe that we should focus on the middle class, but we should also focus on the skills gap. A large amount of our economy is based on consumption. So if we focus on the skills gap, we'll be increasing the sector employment, or private sector employment, but also the middle class, or the amount of jobs that will be produced to help the middle class. And I think that if we focus on the skills gap, it'll make us more globally competitive, because there are jobs that can't be outsourced to other countries, and there are jobs that can be filled if you're trained correctly, which is why I believe that we should also focus on creating technical schools and more vocational schools to help people be trained in a certain occupation. And I think we should also focus on student loan money, because there are a lot of people, not just young people, who are delaying their lives just to pay the debt that they have for student loans. Like, there are people who aren't buying houses or building a family because they need the money to pay off their debt. And that money can go to the economy if we just allow people to finance their student loans, just like they can finance their car loans and other type of loans. So I think we should not just focus on the middle class, but focus on all spectrums of the economy.
Thank you. We'll now take a quick break.
Hi, I'm Mike McFadden, and I am running for Republican Senate of the great state of Minnesota. Today I am visiting a school, helping all the kids, asking questions, and just giving back to the community. I am not a politician. I am a father, a family, a hardworking man who grew up on a farm, and my father taught me all about hard work and dedication. If you elect me, I will bring hard work back to Washington. Thank you. And I approve this message.
All right, that's it for today's debate. Are there any closing remarks?
I would just like to thank you as the moderator, and I would like to thank my opponent. I would also like to thank everyone at home watching, and I would just please vote for me for the Senate, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to thank Mr. Mike McFadden as well as the moderator. And I would also like to thank my family for supporting me, and I would like to thank my high school teacher, Mr. Baxter, for bringing me into politics.
All right, thank you, everybody. Roger Woodine signing out.